Hi guys, today is March the 20th, out in the shed this morning, working on one thing and the other, and well, it's been, I haven't put up a video lately in a while, so I figured it's time to do one. Been busy cutting firewood and a few logs and one thing and the other, so it's been hard going, not much snow, so you know, you gotta work with what you got. So anyhow, we're out in the shed here today, and I'm going to turn this trap. This is one of the real old types Victor Conibear traps. Very old trap. Probably one of the first ones they came up with. And as you can see, the big gap that's out in between the jaws with these old traps. And a lot of times if you get an otter right back by the hips, he'll wiggle out of it. So I'm going to solve that problem. I'm going to turn this into a tight jaw trap. So I went in town yesterday and got some 5/16 rod and bent it up in the shape of the jaws, and I'm going to weld that on in there so it closes up that gap, same as the Savage Old traps. Just grind down the dog there a little bit. I don't need that much. There's a lot of tick there on these old traps, so and plus it causes a lot of pelt damage, but grind it down so much so it fits nicely, and do the same thing on the other side. Weld it all together, and I'll have a Magnum trap made out of this standard 330. So we're going to weld her up there now, and I'll check in once the trap is done. Well, I'm still cutting out the pieces here. This is I thought I should just show the materials that I'm using before I do all the welding work. It's just round rod, 5/16. Comes in 3-foot lengths. 1 3-foot length will do one trap. After you get your bends all made and everything, that's what you're left over. But that'll come in handy for, you know, make a skidoo hitch pin out of it or whatever. And I had some old strap steel, inch wide, couple feet long, and I'm just cutting it off here to make these braces here for the rod. So that should work out fine. No need of buying stuff when you can scrounge it up, make it yourself. If you had to buy a piece of strap steel like this at Canadian Tire, it's about 10 bucks. So I had a piece here lying around from the old crate that my sawmill got shipped in, and I always keep it for welding projects and stuff, so always comes in handy. You have to excuse the mess here. You can easily tell that OCD does not live here. Not exactly a neat freak myself, so anyhow, like I said before, I'm going to continue making up these little parts, and we'll do the welding on it and do a dry fire test, see how it works out. Alrighty, check in later. Alright guys, we just finished welding up that trap. Made the new jaws and put on there, as you can see. And you can see the big difference in the gap now on both sides. Covers in, the gap on this trap was roughly 2 inches. Like I said, this is the real old type Victor Conibear traps. So got her all welded up there. I'm not a professional welder by no means, but I can manage to stick a bit of bubble gum on it. Anyhow, we're going to set this trap up here now and see how she fires. Yep, just lodge the camera over here now for a sec. Okay. Set up. Set the springs a lot easier in here than you can out on in the snowbank. Alright. trigger. Safety's off. That was all set. See how she works out. Whammo. As you can see, flat, 1/4 inch. Nice snug fit. Perfect. So, that's one trap done. I had a couple of these real old ones, so I'm going to do it with both of them. Yes sir, works out fine. Anyhow, got one more here to do. A real old one. I don't know if you can see that. No, it's too dark. Really dark. This is Victor Connerbear 330. And some kind of ACTOLITITZPA. Whatever that is, I guess that's where it's made. Made in the USA. Very good. Anyhow, like I said, with these old traps, the jaws is, once they fires, there's a 2-inch gap, and that's no good for an otter. So, I'm going to make up some more square jaws for this one and do the same I've done with this one. Seems to work out fine. So I just turned the regular trap into a magnum trap. So, anyhow, so you can do with that, I guess. We'll do up the other one, and soon we get ready to dye these traps now. Take care of them, put them away in for the year. I like doing that in the spring of the year so that my traps are all scentless by the time I use them. And I ain't got to worry about that. Anyhow, we'll carry on and do the other one. Alright, we're on to trap number 2. Got one jaw made up there. Just got to weld this here on now and in that position. So with these old traps, they're at 90-degree angles. The traps are not round. They're at the 90 degrees, so which makes it easy to bend the rod and get it in the correct position. So I'll make up one more. I got what's left of a 3-foot rod, and that's enough to do the other side. So continue on, I suppose, and make that up. So I know it needs 2.5 inches before I make the bend in it, and it's very simple. Just nip it in place, clamp it on good and solid, take the rod over here and tap it right where it hits the vice jaw. Sure it goes to your 90. Perfect. Alright. Perfect 90. So now, just place it on the jaw. Take my chainsaw file so I can mark the steel where it wants to bend to. Line up with the jaw, scribe a little mark there. Alright, so from there on, this goes bend on a 90. This one, I just line it up there, make sure the angle is in the right direction. cinch her up good and tight. Now I'm going to make sure that the 90s are bent in the exact direction they're supposed to be. If not, it's going to go under squish. And that's it, just bend it over, make sure she's going right, everything lined up. Sure. So 90. Alright. Back up. Here we go. So, test run here, make sure it fits. Perfect. A little bit corkscrewed there, so just nip it in the vise and give it a little tweak. Make sure that it's where it's supposed to be. Perfect. Alright. What I'll do here now is I'll measure down from the inside is 2.5 inches. So 2.5 inches on this side. Mark it. Alright. So I can see the mark. There we go. And cut her off. Nip that there with my knee. Line up the mark that I need. Cinch her down. Alright. That's that. That's 2 jaws. Same width. It was on the same jaw, just opposite side, just to close the gap. So anyhow, got a few more little parts to make up, and we're going to get to welding. So we'll see what happens after.